Join me on this bikepacking adventure as I embark upon riding the John Muir Way in Scotland, described as one of Scotland's great trails. The John Muir Way is a walking and cycling route in Scotland. It starts in Helensburgh in the west and finishes in Dunbar in the east. 2 train journeys got me close to the start of the trail. It's been quite a while since I've last been on a train. Made it to Helensburgh, so all I need to do now is make my way down to the coast. John Muir, born in 1838 in Dunbar, was a Scottish-born conservationist. He educated people on the importance of protecting the nature that surrounds us through his many books and by establishing several national parks in America. He also founded the Sierra Club, which still exists today, to protect wild places. The John Muir Way was established in Scotland to commemorate John Muir's legacy and to promote environmental awareness. The first day takes me from Helensburgh into Loch Lomond in the Trossachs National Park and finishes in Kirkintilloch. This is the official starting point. My bike's loaded up and I'm all ready to go. What a day for it. Looking forward to it, so let's go. There is a detour because there are trees down up on the hill and it's completely unpassable. Unfortunately I'm on the road for a little bit here. On a nice quiet road now, which is good. I'm going up this hill in front of me, Gowk Hill. So I should have been coming in from the left-hand side instead if I'd been able to go the original route, but this route I'm on at the moment is actually the Three Lochs Way. It heads up this way. There we go. You can see properly now where I'm heading. In the distance here is where I started, just at that building that's sticking out into the water. The Three Lochs Way continues on here, and that would ultimately join the John Muir Way. However, there's a sticker on the back side of that sign that says follow diversion due to fallen trees. That's where I've come from, up this steep track on my detour. Wow! Check out the view on the other side. Well, that was a lovely trip out in the train. Despite living in Glasgow most of my life, I've been to Helensburgh a number of times, but I've always gone in the car, so it was good to go out in the train and saw some bits that I haven't seen before, so I enjoyed that. That is the diversion completed and I'm now officially on the John Muir Way. You can see behind me, just up here, this is the section that is impassable. You can see all the wind-blown trees up there, looks like a bit of a nightmare. So this is Loch Lomond, just in front of me, and that mountain there is Ben Lomond, which is the most southerly Munro. Delighted with this weather. After the long, wet, cold winter we've had, it's about time that Scotland had some sunshine. Pretty bumpy trail, especially if you're on a rigid hardtail. Just come down behind me here If I was on my full sus, I would be hearing down here like a lunatic. But not today, unfortunately, on this rig with its rigid fork. Survived that bit, as did my bike, thankfully. Onto the tarmac for a wee bit here. That is Balmaha, just down in there. This is the main road north on the west of Scotland, the A82. Way too busy here for my liking. This is now a kind of touristy place. When I was growing up as a kid, this didn't even exist. There was just a slipway where people came with their canoes and went down onto the water. Over there, so that is Loch Lomond. Get me out of here and back into the countryside. I don't do busyness. Lots of people, too much. So over the other side there, that's where there are all the trees down. So I've come all the way along there. And actually down this tree line here was the really rough rocky bit. And then down into Balmaha itself. That is Balmaha Castle up there. And as a kid you used to be able to get into that. I remember being brought here for picnics with my mum and dad when I was a child. That's a better view of Balmaha Castle there. Delighted to be on this wee trip. It's a bit of a last minute and it's good to actually be on it. The weather's been pretty awful in Scotland. The whole winter's been very wet and very cold, a lot of flooding. So when I saw it was going to be nice for this whole week, I thought, you know what, book the dates off and let's just go for it. I had to keep reminding myself to stop and look behind me. The views are breathtaking. Now into the Kilpatrick Hills. I think this will take me round past Burncrook's Reservoir and then past Eden Mill, where I think I might get a sandwich or something. And then from there it's pretty easy going along the old railway line, so it should be flat and pretty quick. I'm going to stop in Kirkintilloch tonight. I've got a hotel booked there. Just stopping for a wee breather. Clearly I didn't look at the profile of the route. That's 700 metres of climb in 29k, and obviously the bike's a wee bit heavier than usual, so definitely feeling that. That's Loch Lomond in the background with the cobbler and Ben Lomond through the trees there. Yeah, this really shows how high up I am. The route continues kind of behind me and round the other side of the loch. However, if you want to go to the cafe to get something to eat, then it actually signposts you along here. It's all downhill to the cafe! Yippee! Onto the tarmac! Even better! Made it to Eden Mill. So if you're cycling, they have secure bike parking just behind me. And they also do overnight accommodation and food. I've stayed here a few times and can definitely recommend it. Lunch has arrived. I definitely feel like I'm properly fueled up again and good to go. So I think I'm up through part of Muddock here, and then down through Blainfield would be my guess, and Strathblane, and then onto the disused railway. That's Dunbar over there. Ancient volcano, I think, at one point. I remember going up there as a child with my dad. Very dry and dusty here. Wonderful smells. All I can smell is the pine from the pine trees. This is Strathblane, and the hills up behind me there, those are the Campsie Fells. The trail was well signposted throughout. This section is shared with the cyclepath. This is Dunglass Hill, an ancient volcanic plug. It's found close to Strathblane. I am into a bit of a serious headwind here. I don't like headwinds at the best of the time, but especially not at the end of the day when I'm already tired. These are the wee markers that I've been following. The sign back there said 2 3/4 miles, I presume, to Kirkintilloch. Still into the headwind though, but not far to go. Well, that was a cool wee tunnel. Made it. Just going to go and get checked in. Very helpful, bike friendly hotel. I could have taken my bike up another flight of stairs to my room, but they're allowing me to keep it in this function room overnight, which is only 1 flight of stairs, so very helpful. Pleased with my room. It's going to be very comfortable. The next order of business was dinner, and I have to say the food in the restaurant was absolutely fantastic. I definitely did not go away hungry. What a plateful I had. The second day takes me through Kilsyth and Falkirk and finishes in Linlithgow. After a hearty breakfast, I was fueled up and on my way. Good morning. It's about 9 o'clock and I've made my way up to the Forth and Clyde Canal, and this will take me all the way to Falkirk. I think with a few detours. I don't think the John Muir Way sticks exactly to the canal everywhere. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another lovely day. Had to put my gilet on because it's pretty chilly at the moment. This is Twecker. So yeah, we've got a wee bridge that raises here to let any bigger boats through. The canal here is above the height of the road. Stopped to do a wee fix here. My seat post keeps slipping very slightly and going down, so I mustn't have enough fibre grip on it because it's quite a slippy post. What I've done is I've picked up some grit from the ground and I've put it in round underneath the inside of the collar here. Hopefully the grit will act like the fibre paste would, and that'll give a bit more friction. The bolt itself is quite a lightweight bolt, and I don't want to over tighten that and burst the bolt, because then I really will have a problem. I'll tighten this up and see how that goes. I don't think I've ever been on a barge. It'd be a great trip to do. I would imagine it would be quite relaxing. It's absolutely freezing. The sun's gone and I'm riding into the wind. Can't even feel my hands. I think trousers on, other jacket on and windproof gloves on. I think I'm now just at Kilsyth. So I don't think I actually go into Kilsyth, I just kind of skirt round the edge of it. This is me just going under the M80. The Radical Pens, named to commemorate the Battle of Bonnie-Muir, April the 5th, 1820. Looks like I've left the canal, so I'm not quite sure where the route goes now. I'm just following my purple line and my blue arrow on my GPS. This is a lovely wee spot. I do like listening to the bird song. Good for the soul. Oh wow! Have our first views of the Falkirk Wheel. Get some lunch and a heat up. I'm absolutely freezing. Ordered soup, so tomato and basil, and ordered a toasty. Not very impressed by the size of that, it's teeny weeny. I felt like I'd been robbed here. I paid over £15 for my bowl of soup and my teeny weeny sandwich. Look at the size of it compared to my hand. Ready to go again. Done 25k, so that should be about the halfway point. Maybe another couple of hours should get me along to Linlithgow, and I'm staying in a hostel tonight. This obelisk is a memorial to the Battle of Falkirk Muir. which was fought in 1746. It was a Jacobite victory. The monument was unveiled in 1927 by the Duke of Atholl. I'm about to join the canal again. The official route had actually signposted bikes to go straight on when you were at Falkirk, and it said that the walkers route was up through the Callendar Estate, but actually it's all rideable and there weren't really any obstacles or anything. So if you're doing this, it's certainly worthwhile doing the trail up through the Callendar Estate because it's beautiful. Lovely, smooth cycle path, that's what we like. This is Callendar House. It dates from the 14th century. Through wars, rebellions and the Industrial Revolution, it has hosted many great historical figures, including Mary Queen of Scots and Bonnie Prince Charlie. I made my way through the Callendar Estate. I found this majestic giant sequoia. Just look at the height of it compared to my bike. It's also called a great redwood. You can see why when you see the colour of the bark. Well, I'll not be riding through there. Yippee! The sun's out finally! It's only taken like 6 hours. What a great trail so far. John Muir apparently liked to saunter rather than hike, and I think they've definitely captured that with the route of this trail, because we could have been stuck on the canal the whole day, but it seems like we've deviated into green spaces and other forests and patches of woodland to enjoy those, and I certainly prefer that. I do like the trees and the birds singing. I think I've probably only got about 5k to go to get into Linlithgow. I'll be looking forward to getting something else to eat. Scenery continues to be amazing. Missed my turn there, just had to backtrack, not too far, a couple hundred metres. The canal is just up there behind me, and I have cut down onto this wee trail. This is so nice alongside the river. John Muir would have approved, I think. Now in Linlithgow, the hostel is a wee bit off route, so I'm just making my way there. So this is actually a room for 2 people, but it's not possible just to book for 1 person, so I just had to pay the rate for the double room. But it's very nice. 2 beds, I'll only be sleeping in 1. Own ensuite and everything. Head along to the shops, get myself some dinner and get a shower, and that'll be me, set for bed. It turns out that there's a kitchenette, but not a complete kitchen. So all there is a microwave and washing up. I'm quite pleased with myself because I think I've managed to salvage the situation. I'll show you what I'm having. This is quinoa with anchovies and asparagus. And for dessert, natural yogurt and raspberries. So that should do me well, I think. The third day takes me north to Bo'ness, along to Queensferry, and then to Edinburgh. Good morning! Another day and it's sunny again. I'm making my way out of Linlithgow. I do not like riding on the road, so the sooner this is over, the better. C-class roads, lovely and quiet. Nobody around. I'm looking forward to getting to the coast. I'm sure I'll get some nice views. Behind me there is Linlithgow. I mean, look at the views. Fantastic. This is just amazing. All the lovely smells, the loam, the pine trees. What a good way to start the day. This is Kinneil House. It was once the principal seat of the Hamilton family. I didn't look at the guidebook or the website to find out what I would see along the way. I'm leaving everything as a surprise, and I'm glad I have, because it's fantastic. Very well signposted everywhere, which is great. Oh, so I'm almost at Bo'ness. Fantastic. 10 to Queensferry. Got my first views of the sea. It's quite amazing to think that 2 days ago I started over in Helensburgh. I enjoyed looking over the Forth. The views were fantastic. This trail I'm on is actually part of the 4th inner circuit, which you can do on bike, and I have done part of it before, not on this stretch. I think when I was still in my 20s I had Pop-Tarts for breakfast and then headed out for a big ride, and unsurprisingly came to a halt and ran out of fuel. So my partner Ian, he very kindly finished the route and went and got the car and picked me up. I don't eat Pop-Tarts anymore. I stopped as often as time permitted to enjoy the stunning views. I'm in the grounds of the Hopetoun Estate. Done 22k, 218 metres of ascent in just about 2 hours. So I'm just tucking in to the other half of last night's dinner. And it's not even 11:30 yet. Just left Hopetoun Estate and making my way to South Queensferry. I can recommend the Manor House Bakery behind me. I've just got myself a couple of cakes out of there, so that should keep me fueled for the rest of the day. This is the Forth rail bridge. It's only open to trains. On the left there's also the Forth road bridge and the Forth crossing. 10 out of 10. Delicious. I enjoyed some final views of the 3 bridges across the Forth before heading on my way. I am so glad that I've got a tailwind today. Certainly made up for yesterday where I was into the wind the whole day. I can't believe that tomorrow is going to be the last day and that'll be it complete. The last couple of days have just flown by. It's so good to just be in the moment and enjoying the scenery and not having to think about anything else other than eating and turning the pedals. I am very fortunate to be able to do this. I've left the coast behind me and I'm heading inland towards Edinburgh. Well, I'll not be putting the drone up anywhere near here, that's for sure. Another lovely green space. I don't really know Edinburgh at all. I mean, I've been to Princess Street and Waverley Station and a few other bits, but other than that, I don't know it well. And I think I'm getting to see the best bits. Davidson Mains Park. That has been quite a steep wee climb. I think I must just be in the outskirts here. GPS is saying, well, 11 kilometres into the centre of Edinburgh, and then from there I think I might be another 6 to get to where I'm staying tonight. Tell you what, that looks steep up ahead. Made it. I just looked at the scenery and I just kept turning the pedals. That was really steep, especially with a laden bike. The legs are getting a bit tired now, but not too far to go hopefully. The climb up Crystaline Hill was certainly worth it. Look at the views and the lovely coconut scent from the gorse as well. Lovely. Quite difficult to tell here which way I'm supposed to be going. I'm really glad I've got my GPS. because it shows every little turn. I sat back and enjoyed the views across Edinburgh. In this weather, they really were spectacular, and certainly worth the effort of getting myself and my bike up to the top of Crystaline Hill. That brownie was so big I couldn't even finish it in one go, so I shall save the rest for later. Let's carry on. What an awesome descent down off Crystaline Hill. That was great fun. Although you could easily come a cropper on some of the corners. Very off camber, very loose and gravelly. So beware if you're coming down there with a loaded bike. I recognise that at the end of the street. That's Murray Field, the home of Scottish rugby. Back onto the canal, which is nice. This is just lovely. Oh, apart from the bumps. I really enjoyed this section. The canal looked so clean and full of life, and it was also very quiet. I am in the city centre now, and you know what I'm noticing? The first thing is the fumes from the vehicles. I live out in the countryside, so even the slightest whiff of exhaust smoke, and I find it really overpowering. And the second thing is smoke from people smoking, and the third thing is just the noise. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow because it'll be nice and quiet along the coast, hopefully. This is Arthur's Seat. It's an extinct volcano. Turned off the John Muir Way and I'm just making my way to the Premier Inn. Made it. That's been 61k, 624 metres of ascent, which is hard to believe really. That's a lot more climbing than I expected. That's me settled in for the night, had a good feed, so just gonna get a good night's sleep and then last day tomorrow. The fourth and final day takes me along the coast to North Berwick and then finishes in Dunbar. Good morning! It is another stunning day. The sun is out again. Last day! Had a great sleep last night, feel well rested, legs feel good. So yeah, let's go to Dunbar. I retraced my steps from where I left the John Muir Way yesterday, so it probably only took 5 minutes, especially once I knew the way. So that's me back on the proper route. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever sights I might see today, and it'll be good to get back out onto the coast again, get some nice views. It didn't take long to get to Musselburgh. I was a lot closer than I thought. The GPS is saying 57k to the finish in Dunbar, and so far I have done just over 3k, so yeah, 60k altogether. Can't believe how quiet it is. I mean, it's just gone 9 AM. I've not met a soul, not even anybody else on this cycle path. Maybe everyone's having a lie-in. beat the weather. I am so lucky to be able to do trips like this when I'm still pretty young and fit. Nice smell from the salty air. Some of the navigation here is a bit difficult, but there do seem to be plenty of signs. Sometimes you just have to keep going if you can't see one. Mackenzie and Port Seaton. Great. It would certainly be quicker to be on the road, but you would miss out on all this lovely scenery. What a contrast from the start of the route. Lovely trail. I would have liked to have well camped, but there weren't really much spots at the areas I was wanting to stop, so I had to go for the hotel option, and I have to say all the hotels were very accommodating, and the hostel, no issues getting my bike into the rooms, which is always peace of mind, because I wouldn't want to leave it outside. Number one, because it would get stolen, and number two, if it didn't get stolen, I would still be awake all night worrying that it would get stolen. The walker's route has just turned off to my left onto the beach. So if you're walking the John Muir Way, you just walk along the beach, but bikes are signed just to stay on the shared cycle and footpath. Well, I have done some of these sections before actually on the beach, from like Aberlady round to North Berwick, but that was with my fat bike on the beach with its 4-inch tyres. That's great for zooming along the sand. It just wouldn't be possible on my skinny tired bike today. You can see here just how close I am to the beach, and now I'm just on the road, unfortunately. You'll probably know by now how much I hate riding on the road. Just drivers passing too close. This is Aberlady, and it looks like I'm about to join some pavement, which is great, because that bit on the road was not enjoyable. Some really close passes by some really impatient people. Look at the views. Almost 24k done so far, and I think the GPS is saying 37 odd to go. So I've just stopped for a wee bite to eat. So I've got my apple, got the other half of my chocolate brownie from yesterday. I had another few k on the road there, but it wasn't too bad because there was an actual dedicated cycle lane and the road was really wide. Yeah, it's great to be back on some nice quiet single track. I don't know if you can see that, but over there in the distance, that is North Berwick Loch, and that's in North Berwick, funnily enough. And I think Gullen's the next place, then on to North Berwick, and then North Berwick to Dunbar. There wasn't much to Gullen, one main street really, and then houses. So I was through it before I realised I think I will stop at a cafe or something, get a sandwich in North Berwick. fun. Whoop! That was a tight one. I'm still being spoiled by the scenery. This is Fidra, known for its lighthouse and wildlife. Pretty bumpy here. Some pretty majestic pine trees. Scots pine, I think. Amazing scenery all round. This is the Bass Rock. It's home to more than 150,000 gannets. I sat outside and enjoyed a quick bite to eat. That should keep me going. I passed through this lovely garden on my way out of North Berwick. I have to say that lunch was absolutely delicious. Really enjoyed that. And so we're on to the final leg. That's North Berwick Law in front of me, so that's what I could see earlier on, just on the horizon. I have been up there before. Lovely views from the top. What a mission that was. There was a locked gate there, and the only way through was this narrow slot. So I had to get the bike up 2 steps through this narrow slot on the wall. And the slot was so narrow that my rear hub and derailleur wouldn't fit. So I had to get the bike on the back wheel, lift it up 2 steps with my knee behind the saddle, and then lift it again to clear the hub and the derailleur, which is not easy if you've got a laden bike. So that's just a heads up for anyone else that might like to try this route. A few moments later, I encountered this gate. It wasn't very easy to negotiate either, as you will see. That gate wasn't much easier. This is similar to what I had to negotiate earlier. 3 steps and then a narrow gap. However, this gap is much wider than the one I've already come through. The wind was really starting to pick up. I'm glad it wasn't in my face. You can see here just how windy it has got. Along the whole length of the trail so far, there have hardly been any benches. So I took the opportunity when I saw this one to sit and admire the view. I enjoyed that downhill, definitely earned it, cycling all the way up to the top. This is East Linton, and this is the final wee place before I get to Dunbar. So I've got 12.6k to go. I really like the colour of the sandstone used on this bridge. Loving how these wee footpaths are just parallel to the main road and they keep you off the road. This is just bliss. That over there is Dunbar. Yippee! There's the Bass Rock again. Lovely day, lovely scenery. Windy! Jeez, oh! I spy with my little eye loads of steps up ahead. Flashbacks to the Southern Upland Way trip, and if you've not seen that, it's definitely worth a watch. This was a piece of cake by comparison. Nearly there. I'm excited. I've almost completed it, but I'm also a bit sad because the journey's over. I have to say, these 4 days in some ways has felt like a month. It's good to not have to think about anything important, but at the same time the 4 days have flown by. So busy cycling that before you know it, it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Behind me here is the John Muir statue, so I have made it. Really enjoyed that trip, some fantastic scenery, thoroughly recommend it. And if you've enjoyed watching this, please give me a like and a subscribe. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Now I remember what it's like having to run back and forward for the camera.